Hello, my name is Yumichi and I play ADC for Serenity.
Now, talk to me about your journey through League of Legends, Yumichi. How did you begin to when you started taking it seriously to all the way now? Give me the detailed explanation.
I started off, I think I was like 10 years old. I went to my friend's house a while back and I saw his brother play this game. And I think at the time he was playing just the tree lines and the new champion Ziggs when it came out. So that kind of caught my interest, and he ended up making me download it, and we played for a little while. I basically main Twisted Tree Line 3v3, like the old map, and then it started to wear down when they removed the map.
Did you ever play ranked Twisted Tree Line? Like, did you take that more seriously than Summoner's Rift?
I tried, but it never really caught on. I was mostly very casual, and I didn't speak English back then, so it was pretty hard for me to like learn a lot.
Okay, what's your native language?
French.
French. Oh, cool. So Twisted Tree Line. Then when did you start taking League Summoner's Rift seriously?
It was probably when Aphelios came out, like preseason when Aphelios came out. I was like a silver player, like at best, maybe gold at best before then. Just play a bunch of random stuff mid, like I just play ADCs mid for fun. Like I do Borg, Glacial Augment Ash, and just run people down like after I use the active, because it used to like have the Glacial effect. So that was like one of the things. I played a lot of Kaisa mid, because when I came back, she was pretty new and I liked her. I like how she looks, so I played a lot of her mid. I ended up taking it seriously because my boyfriend at the time was really into it. So he like introduced me to a lot of the Korean pro players, which I like ended up kind of idolizing for a while. Like Ruler was my like biggest like inspiration starting out. I thought he was so cool. I actually ended up getting complimented too by a Darren friend, and he said something along the lines, "Oh, like you team fight better than some like most of the diamond players I play with. Like, how are you only gold?" So that kind of made me want to try harder and see where I can push this.
So how hard did you have to grind to hit high elo?
Well, I studied the game a lot. I watched a lot of pro guides, like all that kind of stuff, and just like learned the basics, right? Because I didn't know what wave management was. The only buzzword that I knew about was mechanics, and I thought that was kind of just the whole thing, right? I just thought this whole game was mechanics. Then I learned about like all these other things like wave management, like what macro, what micro is, what all these buzzwords. I had no idea, so I learned all of that. I went from I think silver to diamond in my first season. I think I peaked diamond 3, diamond 2. That was when my first season I really tried. I played a lot of Kaisa, MF when the old Dorn's Blade stacking build was a thing. Yeah, and that's just kind of how it started.
Wow, that's a fast climb. So what makes you want to compete then? Where do you get your competitive drive from?
I just love the game. I genuinely just have a huge passion for it, and I think it's just so interesting. There's so many layers to it, and just watching better players than me has been so inspiring. I've always been so captivated by like the plays people would make and how they would play, and I just love the strategic and all the small things about League that makes this game so interesting to me.
What was your first experience in a competitive setting, like on a team?
Well, it was an AoE team. I just hit Masters. Like I wanted to wait until I was higher elo to actually like make that jump. I think my friend or something, I just got into it eventually, and yeah, it was just some random team. We never actually played like any tournaments or whatever because the team never really found a good roster that connected. But that was like my first experience, and I still like remember a lot of these players very fondly, and my coaches I still keep in touch to this day, and they helped me a lot just to get kind of the basics going, right? Just thinking about the game in a different light.
So what's it been like with the Game Changers team so far?
It's been great. I think everyone's really nice and everyone's working really, really hard, and I'm really, really happy about that. It is stressful. It is a very stressful event, but I'm just glad that everyone in my team, doesn't tilt, and we're very, very nice to each other. We will criticize each other in a constructive way, but it never gets like really mean or like in a explained in a degraded manner. You know.
Mhm. That's cool. So the Game Changers as an event, as a tournament, and kind of what it is now, what does it mean to you to compete in Game Changers?
To me, it's just like it's really just learning, being able to be given opportunities and learn about something I'm passionate about. I did play the 2 previous years, which was more about that. Now for me, this year especially, I just really want a safe space for women where we can actually practice, given opportunities, and actually encourage the small pool of women we have in NA, because I think it's a very hard job to pursue, just in general, without even considering the fact that you're a marginalized group. It is a very hard thing to do, a very risky thing to do, because it's something that requires a lot of your time, and it becomes, in my opinion, almost impossible to be able to like do school work and try to go pro. I think you have to get supported in some way and have to drop one of those to actually be able to keep going, because I think to be the best at something, you have to put a lot of your time and your maximum focus and effort. I'm just hoping that the few women that we have here are able to get that opportunity, and so we can move all of this forward, so we can actually have more women in the future.
Well said. Do you have any goals personally for Game Changers that you want to accomplish?
Like, my goal that I want the most is definitely just having a girl tournament. Like they have, I know Brazil has one where they just have a bunch of girl teams and they compete against each other, and they're supported and paid and given reason to continue pursuing what they like. G2 has their own EU team with female players that are really, really good, and I just want to be I just want NA to go that route. I want us to be able to have orgs supporting us and having these competitions that we can enter, and because I think we're the only region now that doesn't have that. I think it's a bit odd, and I think that's what I want from this to come out of. I want Riot to be able to give us the okay and be able to actually just compete. I honestly think NA has a lot of really, really good women. You'd be surprised of the amount. Like 3 teams doesn't seem like a lot, but I think there's a lot of really great players, and I think one kid could see that, and I think it would be really fun.
Is I want you to think of 3 words that describe yourself.
I'd say, so if I were to describe myself in 3 words, it would probably be passionate, hard worker, and understanding.
Okay. Passionate, hard worker, and understanding. Why passionate first?
I tend to be very passionate about a lot of things. I used to be passionate about drawing, and especially I think League has been the thing that I have never felt anything like it in my life. I feel some kind of connection to this game that I've never had, and I really love to push myself and just feed onto that passion.
Hard worker. I mean, you kind of touched on that a little bit, I suppose, in that previous answer, but why does hard worker come to mind?
I have a pretty good work ethic. I push myself, and of course everyone copes. I cope, but deep down I always know that I can always do something better. I can always push myself forward. I can always do more, work more. I'm willing to put in as much work as I can to make my dreams come true, as long as other people are around me to support me and to allow me to shine. I'll always be able to show results and just show people that investing in me and putting time in me is worth it, because I will give my all.
Why understanding?
I'd say I've had previous issues with myself. I did suffer with social anxiety. I had to quit school because of it. Actually, it really helped me understand myself. I obviously still struggle and I still have a lot to learn, but I try to help people as much as I can, make them understand things about themselves, and be nice to themselves, because I used to be really rough on myself. I still am, but I try to always put myself in the shoes of other people and approach from that angle.
If you could not play League of Legends, that game no longer is on your computer, you cannot play it, what game are you going to play?
I used to play Osu. I was a top player in Osu. I was ranked 699. That was my peak. But the issue with that game is I thought it was kind of a waste of the amount of free time I had. Because the end result of being really good at that game, I don't think is very fulfilling.
Osu is a PC only game, right? Do you have any console games that you like?
Not really. Honestly, like I haven't played a lot of games. Surprisingly enough, I used to be a huge Mario Kart Wii fan. I love playing that game. I used to love Animal Crossing on the Wii as well. I've never been like a solo game player. I've always been a multiplayer gamer. I think I used to play Black Ops 2 a lot on Xbox. That was like the main game I used to play. I've always wanted to be a PC gamer. The only thing holding me back was just I had really bad PCs for most of my life until I was able to afford one myself.
All right, well, I am curious. I've asked everybody else this. I've gotten some very fun responses. What is your hidden talent?
Oh God. I don't know if I should get into it. My hidden talent. I guess I can make a really, really convincing chicken noise. It came out of nowhere. I don't know how I found out about it, but okay, wait.
Okay. Well, now we have to hear it.
So embarrassing. Wait.
I'm so sad. I don't think the mic was picking it up. It sounded great for a little bit, but can you get closer to the mic?
Wait, I think I just need to remove like
the filters.
Like, give me a second.
Yeah. Oh, this is.
So bad.
That is very convincing. If I did not see you doing that, I would just assume there was a chicken around. So now the podium is yours. Is there anything else that you would like to talk about or like an audience to know about yourself, whether it's League of Legends related, whether it's just about you, goals, aspirations, background, whatever you would like to talk about? If there's something, now's the time.
So my first language is French. I learned English actually through playing Minecraft and using Google Translate to translate what people were saying to me. And I just kind of started to notice patterns between the language, and I used school to refine my vocab and just make it cleaner.
That's pretty. What you used Minecraft and Google Translate?
I used to play Skyblock, and I used to just talk to people with Google Translate, and then after a while, I kind of just picked up patterns between the two languages, and I got kind of semi-fluent in it, where I could talk to people, but I had kind of a broken English. My verbs were really bad, and my vocabulary was pretty bad. Spelling was also pretty mediocre, but I refined that with school.